something strange happens in the creator world. Two people start putting the same effort around the same time. They both care about their work, they're both showing up consistently, they are both putting in similar effort. Yet 1 year later, one of them seems to be growing quite quickly, while the other one seems to be completely stuck. Same platform, similar effort, yet completely different results. After years of hosting conversations with creators on my podcast, I started noticing patterns behind this. And interestingly, the difference rarely shows up in the first few months. It becomes visible much later. A lot of creators assume that growth comes down to things like better gear, better editing, better hooks, or simply posting more often. And of course, those things can help. But when you speak with creators who are actually building something, those details rarely explain the real difference. In many of these conversations, the same idea keeps coming up. The creators who grow usually aren't doing something radically different. They're just repeating a few behaviors for much longer than people would expect.
Essentially, you want to post as much as possible when you start. Like, post every type of format of content, post different content pillars, post about slightly different niches, post everything you can. Try selfies, try carousels, try video, try everything. And then do that for about a month. And then at the end of the month, look back on your content, see what performed well, both in terms of if certain formats performed well.
From the outside, the creator growth often looks sudden. You discover someone online and they seem to be everywhere. Their audience seems to be growing quickly, and it appears as if it happened just overnight. But when you actually speak with them, the story is completely different. What looks like a sudden growth is usually the result of years of effort, years of experimenting, years of showing up before anyone was even paying any attention. The audience sees the moment something works, but the creator remembers the years before it.
Immediate gratification is a drug, and everybody wants immediate gratification. No, especially in today's attention economy, nobody wants to play the long game. But like everything, it's one of those things, slow and steady wins the race. Sure, anyone can go viral, anyone can have that viral moment and just start and just out of nowhere, get a ton of attention. Great. But, for most people, that's not the way it happens. Most people that you see online that are successful have been building and building for years and years and years. It's rarely an overnight success story.
Another pattern that shows up in many of these conversations is relationships. A lot of creators think that growth comes purely through content, but very often it actually comes through people, conversations, collaborations, communities, not just posts. Someone notices your work, someone introduces you to the new audience, and someone opens the doors you didn't even know existed. And suddenly, your work reaches places it couldn't reach alone.
I had a lot of help. I made friends with some really great people that really helped me, gave me a lot of good advice, and I feel like that's something I really try and push to other people that ask me how to grow. It's just make actual friendships. If you become my friend, I will just tell you what to do.
Another difference I keep noticing is how creators think about their time. The creators who grow approach their work differently. They don't expect every post to perform. They don't expect any immediate results. Instead, they treat what they're doing as a long-term craft. They're developing their ideas, they're improving their thinking, getting slightly better every time they show up. Progress might feel slow in the moment, but over time, that improvement becomes very difficult to ignore.
But if you want to succeed and if you want to find a sustainable way of being consistent, you need to work on your habits. It's a very big difference to force yourself to do something over and over and over again you might only last so long. But if you work on a habit that becomes your routine, that's when you win. Because you're going to show up no matter what.
When you zoom out across many creator journeys, a few patterns appear and again and again. Consistency, relationships, strong ideas. And none of these things feel exciting when it's happening. They're often slow, sometimes frustrating, and occasionally invisible. But over time, they start stacking. And eventually, that steady progress turns into visible growth.
Keep creating and sharing value and give. Like, give a lot before you even think or expect anything back. And never give with an expectation that, I'm only posting this to get this person to text me or this lead, or no, just give. Like, share from your heart, give out the information that you even feel like is sacred to you in terms of educating, because people who want to pay you for your work will come to you regardless.
So when you see one creator growing quickly while the other one seems to be completely stuck, the explanation is usually much simpler than you would expect. It's not about secret tactics, hacks, or strategy. More often, it's about repeating the same behaviors long enough for them to matter. Showing up, building relationships, developing ideas, and doing that consistently over time. From the outside, the growth often looks sudden, but from the inside, it takes much longer than you would expect, until one day it becomes visible. And maybe that's the most interesting thing about creator growth. The audience usually sees the moment the things take off, but they rarely see everything that comes before it. The quiet work, the experiments, the early stages where almost nobody is watching. And yet, that's usually where the most progress happens, long before anyone even notices. If you enjoy conversations about ideas, creators, and how people build things online, that's exactly what I explore on this channel. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing. There are many more conversations ahead.